Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Damsel, and this is a new fantasy action thriller from director Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, who previously did 28 Weeks Later, and this film focuses on Millie Bobby Brown, who plays Elodie, this young woman who's betrothed to Nick Robinson, by her parents, played by Ray Winstone, and her mother-in-law, her stepmother, played by Angela Bassett, and then her future mother-in-law, played by Robin Wright. But things are twisted because what she really is a sacrifice to a giant dragon, and then this turns into a giant action flick with Millie Bobby Brown trying to survive a dragon deep inside the caverns of a giant mountain. And this film, similar to my review for Ricky Stenicki, this did not need to be an hour and 48 minutes. You can feel the stretching of this narrative to its brinks of like, okay, I get it. They keep stretching this out and stretching this out. And as they stretch the film out, Millie Bobby Brown's character tends to have less and less clothes as she turns into like this sexy looking action star who, give Millie Bobby Brown a lot of credit. Apparently she did all of her own stunts for this, and I think she gives a good performance. And nothing against the rest of the cast, I think they do exactly what's expected of them, but there's like no other characters. Everybody else is exactly this mechanism that they need to be. Like, when you see Robin Wright, the way that she's acting, you're like, this woman is evil. We know it. Something bad's gonna happen. That's the most obvious thing in the world. And this film is filled with some of the most obvious things in the world. There's even a big twist that happens about like the truth behind the history of this kingdom, and you're just like, wow, that is shocking, said no one. Because it's that obvious. And when it really comes down to it, this is another film of like, hey, humans, it's the villain, it was the humans who were the villains all along. And you're just like, could have saw that one coming. And unfortunately, narratively, this doesn't really offer anything. It just feels like an excuse to have Millie Bobby Brown fighting a dragon for almost 2 hours. And you didn't need to have Millie Bobby Brown fighting that dragon for almost 2 hours. Sure, there's some pretty exciting action, and Millie Bobby Brown certainly delivers. But there's also a lot of, obviously there's a lot of special effects, there's a CGI dragon, but so much of like these scenes where you see her fighting this dragon are on like this CGI stage that looks basically as fake as what you saw in like Ant-Man Quantumania, where it's just like, yep, I know I'm watching a computer-generated cavern right now with a computer-generated dragon, but there's Millie Bobby Brown. She's the only one there. So like, shaky effects, almost no narrative thrust or structure at all, and a bunch of characters that are basically just threads in a plot instead of like any characterization. This really comes down to the action and Millie Bobby Brown. How far that goes, I think it'll depend on you. For me, there was enough to make this entertaining to watch. I wish that it was leaner, because it could have easily been. Of course, they throw in extra roadblocks and challenges in this cavern to keep this going, to expand the thrills, and like creepy glowing things latching on her, or her seeing these shots to the past and realizing what was really going on. But in the end, it gives me hope that I think Millie Bobby Brown could do more fun, action-y kinds of things. And sure, this has some fun genre elements. It just feels like, as a whole, it was really uninspired. And they kind of just were like, well, pop it on Netflix. People are going to watch it. But those are my thoughts on Damsel. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.